This video will discuss chapter 6-7, similar figures. So we're going to talk today are what happens when two shapes are similar and how can we determine the length of sides using this idea. So these symbols tell me that angle A is similar to angle D, or I guess is equivalent to angle D. Angle B is equivalent to angle E, and angle C is equivalent to angle F. So that makes these two triangles similar because the three angles are congruent. So there's a couple of ways I can figure out, because what I'm trying to do is figure out the length of this side. And there are a couple of ways that I can figure that out. I'm going to show you one, but one idea is to take this side and put it over this side. So I'm creating a ratio, so that'd be 4 over 12 equals 6 over x. That's what I'm going to use, but other ways, you could go 4 over 6 equals 12 over x. You could do 6 over x equals 4 over 12. You could go opposite, right? But so the idea here, and I'll show you the one I'm going to use, and we'll come back to this drawing in a sec. I'm going to go 4 over 12 equals 6 over x. So this is the length of the small triangle over the length of the large triangle, and then this is the length of the small triangle over the length of the large triangle. So you'll notice that you have to keep, if I'm putting this number on top and this number on bottom, then this one would have to be on top and this one would have to be on bottom. You could go the opposite way. I could go 12 over 4 equals x over 6, and it would just look the opposite of this. And either of those would be all right. So the idea is then once I want to try to solve this, I'm going to cross multiply. Remember, I'm keeping the numerator on the side, so this becomes 4x on this side, and that is 72. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 4, and so the length is x equals 18. So coming back, well, here, I'll leave this up for a sec so you can kind of see the math, right? This should cancel out. So coming back to this, what we're saying is that the length of this side is 18 centimeters. All right, so then we could do this using a rectangle. And so it's the same idea. Now I want you to see this notation because this is another way you can see the two figures are similar. This symbol, which is one squiggly line, means that they are similar. So that means that LMNO is similar to PQRS. Now keep in mind that means that because LM is the first side, PQ is the first side, these two sides are equivalent, right? MN and QR would be equivalent. NO and RS would be equivalent, right? And then obviously the other way, OL and SP would be equivalent. So at times, these two look that way, but at times you can kind of shift shapes so that one is going this way and one is going this way, and they still would be equivalent. If it says that, you just have to make sure you got the right side with, the correct side with the correct side. So same idea, I can take however I want to set this up. I'm going to set it up this way. I'm going to put this side on top and this side on bottom, and then this side on top and this side on bottom. So it's going to be small rectangle over big rectangle, small rectangle over big rectangle, and so mine is going to look like this. Okay, and then what I got to do again is cross multiply. 5 times 12 is 60, and 30 times b is 30b. And then I need to divide both sides by the number that's in front of the b. Cancels that out, so I'm left with b equals 60 divided by 30, and that is 2. So both b equals 2. And so if I were to come back to this, what I'm saying is that this would be 2. All right, now that's all we got in terms of examples for this section. One thing I would really want you to keep in mind is to kind of use common sense. So make sure that when you get an answer, it makes sense that could possibly be the answer. Right? So if I have an answer for the smaller rectangle and it happens to be longer than the length of the longer rectangle, obviously I must have done something wrong. That's all we got in this video. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to do the problems at the bottom of the page, and I'll see you in class.